Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Janeau show. Starting to do these podcasts now every month or so now. I don't know why, but I'm gonna try to get back active with it. But this world, man, this country, this life, it takes a while to kind of mentally get back into it. But anyway, I'm here now. So what I want to talk about today is what's going to happen tomorrow, pretty much. I've been thinking a lot, man, lately about us. I think we let too many people's opinions dictate how we feel, and I've been saying that for a while on this podcast. I've been saying you need to start having your own opinions. I think you need to start forming your own mindset. Nobody is supposed to be feeling the same damn way as everybody. That's kind of how we all get cloned together, and that's why people continue to say, he's just like the last one, or all black people are the same. That's not true. Or all men think the same, and all women feel the same. It's like, I don't think that's all. I don't think that's just true, but I get it. Because we let people's opinions take us out of what we know is true, but more importantly, what the fuck we actually could prove, and we know it's facts. And I think that too many of us we just don't know what we're doing anymore about that. We just let it happen. And tomorrow is the election. I already voted. I voted earlier. I voted like last weekend, I want to say, or weekend before that. And I voted for Biden-Harris. Now, I voted for Biden-Harris because, one, the fact that you have a sitting president in the White House that literally his main objective is to divide the country. That's kind of his main objective. That's his whole main objective, to create a war where not to just create it enough, but he wants to be a dictator. That's what he wants. He wants the United States of America to become the United States of dictatorship. That's his whole agenda, to stay in as long as he possibly can. And people that continue to try to act like that's not what his real objective is, are you out your goddamn mind? The longer he's on that seat, he's in the White House, he cannot be convicted of anything on their wrongdoing. He's a sitting president. Nobody's going to put him in prison because he's a sitting president. It's pretty fucking obvious if you actually know the deal. But the real reason why I voted for Biden-Harris also was not because of Biden. I think he's 70 years old. He's an old white man. He's been getting the same opportunities as Trump has been getting in his life. I don't really see no difference. He's 70-something years old. He's stuck in his fucking ways just like Trump is. That shit doesn't change. I think that I voted because of Harris. Kamala Harris. I voted for her. And I hear people say, it's her policies. I don't like the fact that she was locking black people up at a crazy rate and all that shit. Okay, I could 100% agree with that. But can we all agree that she is actually a black woman? Can we just agree with that for a fucking moment? And I keep sitting here and I'm looking and I'm listening to a lot of people and I'm seeing certain things and I'm like, black people were so happy when Barack was president. When he was running for president, he was president. And we did everything in our power to support Barack. Even if we didn't know his laws, we just supported Barack. Why we can't do that for Kamala Harris? Is it because she was a prosecutor? Is it because she locked up, majority black people, black men in particular? Is it because of that, or is it because she's a woman, she's a black woman, and most of us have to deal with black women in our lives, either our moms, our sisters, we married to black women. We know what a black woman mindset is already. She's a strong-minded human being. That's just the way it's gonna be. If you know black women, you know that's just the way it is. But why do you not want to support Kamala Harris? It's just fucking crazy to me. That shit it fucking blows my mind that people just my own people, we don't even want to support her. That's fucking crazy to me. I don't understand that shit. And it can't just because she locked people up. That makes no fucking sense. It's deeper than that. Everything we do is always deeper than what the fuck we trying to sell to people. Why you not voting for Kamala Harris? Well, she locked, mainly black people up. And it's like, oh, really? That's really why? It's because she's a black woman and they are the strongest people on this fucking planet. That might be a reason. That might be the main reason. We don't want no black woman telling you what to do as that. Because we all know she's going to be president eventually. That's very interesting that we supported Barack like crazy. But we completely have a disagreement on Kamala Harris because she locked people up. That cannot be the reason. That cannot be the fucking reason why you don't want to support Kamala Harris. For me personally, why I voted for Kamala Harris, it wasn't because of her politics. I don't know what the fuck she gonna do when she get in the White House. I cannot tell you. I do not know. But what I do know is she's a black woman. And this is why I said earlier that not all black people are the same. Because, yes, black women can be stubborn. Yes, they can have their own opinions and just, kind of torpedo your shit out the gate. But I'd rather somebody that actually understands that this is a fight that you got to have the right mindset with, the right attentions for, the right abilities. And I think that she's one of the rare few people that can understand that. I got nieces, I got little sisters, I got, little girls looking at this woman. And if she becomes something special, you really want to be the one that say, I didn't vote for her because she locked people up. Majority her own people because of drug. Like, come on, man. Like that cannot be the reason. That shit just cannot be the reason. That shit just cannot be the reason. I titled this podcast today "Data Country Stop" because tomorrow's gonna be an interesting one. All through after the election is out, that entire week, this week, probably going into next week, it's gonna be crazy because we let opinions and our own personal political views tear a country that was supposed to be so strong apart. And if something like a political view can make people want to drive in a pickup truck to run black people over, run anybody over because they're supporting and protesting black lives, then this country is the weakest fucking country I've ever seen. Don't get it twisted. I'm not gonna say I love being an American. That's not even the case. This is the same country that told my people in New Orleans. This is the same country that told my people in New Orleans that they were refugees and that they had to wait for help. And they knew the hurricane was gonna be worse. Hurricane Katrina was gonna be worse than what the fuck they kept trying to tell us, and let my people just stay there for days on end, even weeks on end, moved us to the Superdome and let us die and rot. This is the same country. So I can never say I 100% love this country. That's just not who I am. I cannot say that. I'd be lying if I said that shit. But I would say, shit, this is the only country I know. This is the only country I know. But we continue to sit here and believe politicians who people's main objective is to get you to believe bullshit. It's their main objective, to believe the bullshit that they sell you. That's their main objective. And if they do create some laws for us in the bullshit, great. But bro, it's damn near 60 years since the Civil Rights Acts. These motherfuckers ain't doing shit for us. And if you think they are, you delusional as a motherfucker. But this week is going to be an interesting one after tomorrow. Because it could go two ways. Usually the way I think it's going to go. But I am a person that hopes that things can just figure itself out. Hopefully. So, I think it's going to go one or two ways. The first way is everybody loses their goddamn minds over the election. Either you're pro Trump or you're pro Biden, whatever the case may be. Somebody's going to lose. That's just the way it is. The object of the game is somebody's going to lose. So with that being said, somebody is going to lose. And their side is going to be fucking furious. Which is cool. I understand you being mad. But the thing about it is, don't get to a point where now you want to hurt people for some shit that they hadn't. Well, they did have control over that. But just because your candidate lost don't mean you need to kill me because of that. That makes no fucking sense in the world. And I think as much as we preach about not dividing each other and all that shit, we divide each other the most because we don't want to have conversations with one another. We don't even want to have a conversation with people. We don't want to talk. We don't want to sit down and say, listen, I completely disagree with you if you support Trump, but I can understand why you would support somebody like that if you give me a real proper reason for saying so. And the same thing vice versa. If you support Trump and you sitting down with somebody that support Biden, like, I really don't know why you're supporting Biden, but I could understand why if it was a decent, if it was a correct reasoning for doing so. But I think this country is going to probably burn the fuck down the next week. This week going into next. I think people just going to just lose their fucking minds. That's just the way it is. Or maybe, and this is what I hope, I do hope, that what I saw in a couple of pages over the weekend, it was the same thing. It was like a group of Trump people. It was a group of Biden people. It was a group of Trump people. It was a group of Black Lives Matter protesters, and they were in Vancouver, Washington, and they could have tore each other to pieces. They could have killed each other. They could have blood shed everywhere. But instead, they just came to an understanding. You support your people, I support mine. I saw a couple people handshake. And that was just the end. They all went home. Nobody died. Nobody was arrested. That's what people continue to preach. They keep saying that's what we want to see. But then you get on these social media accounts, or you get in the media and you let these motherfuckers on CNN and Fox News fuck up your vibe and tell you that they're the enemy. Nobody's an enemy. We're all human beings. We're all Americans. We all have our own fucking opinions, our own way of thinking. The problem is we need to stop letting motherfuckers with their opinions try to ruin our fucking opinions, because the fact of the matter is we all need each other at the end of the day. Because if World War III kicks off, we gonna die. So World War III kicks off, we're gonna probably pass. So, because we're not all together. So, pay attention. Vote. I'll talk to y'all soon.